If you're looking to improve your life personally and financially, be sure to check out today's video because today I'll be talking about 4 lessons that improved my life for the better. Okay, let's get into it. Hey, what's up you guys? Lukas here from excelwealth.com. Good that you joined in today because in today's video, I'll be talking about the 4 lessons that improved my life. Now, this could also mean an improvement for your life here in 2020. Before we go into the video, of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button because that's the way how we can grow our community. Now, the first lesson that I would like to share with you is embarrassment. Now, I'm a professor in a university here in the Netherlands, and this is what I come across very, very often. Embarrassment. You know, asking one of my students to just stand up and then at least give the answer to the question. It's very simple. It's just as simple as that. I would just say, hey, so who has the answer of the question? Raise your hand. And you'll see that many students do raise their hands in a certain class. But what happens if I actually ask them, like, would you like to tell me what the answer is? And they're like, you know, I don't know if I want to do that. And that is already where the embarrassment starts. Now, in our lives, we've been raised such a way that, you know, when you're a small kid, we kind of praise our kids when they do a great thing, like, yay, well done. But the moment they do something wrong, it's not that we punish our kids, like, oh no, you did a wrong job. It's not like that, but it's more like, aw, you know, you can do better next time. This is what we give as parents to our children. Now, you most likely have experienced something like that as well. This is why embarrassment is the number one thing that we really need to think about. Embarrassment is something between our ears. We always think about it in our head. I'll tell you this, nobody really cares about you. It might sound harsh, and you might be watching this video and thinking, really? No, that's not true. I get it. But if you take a look in who the main character is in your life, it's you. It's you yourself. You are the main character in your own life. Not all those other people around you. They are a very important side character in your life. Absolutely. But in the end, you are the main character. If you're embarrassed, you're actually embarrassed of what you're saying. You're embarrassed of what you're doing. Why? You're worrying too much about the people surrounding you. You might be thinking, the neighbors might think, ooh, that's not a good thing to do. Well, in the end, the neighbors are worrying too much about you as well. What you might think of them. That is the whole idea. If you're in school, you always think, what might my friends think of me? This is what happens all the time with embarrassment. We always worry about other people. Well, I'll tell you this, others don't really care of what you do. Now, the interesting thing is this, in a university, I'm not the average professor. I'll tell you that. I'm not the average coach. What I will do is I will just tell you my opinion. If I don't like you, I'll just say, hey, sorry, I don't like you. I'm not being an ass. I'm not being mean. I'm just saying the actual honesty. If I just say, you know, I like you, I would work harder as a person to work for you. Absolutely, I would. Embarrassment is something we have between our ears. The first thing is, get over it. You have to understand. It's okay to be you. Some people say, hey, Lukas, your hair is very up top right. Now, I would say, yeah, thank you very much. This is my style. This is how I work things. This is how I get along. This is who I am. And if you don't like it, that's totally fine. I get that. Because, you know, you can't be everybody's type, right? But then again, you know, I don't really care. Now, I do like compliments and I do like feedback. So if you would say, hey, Lukas, your hair is great, but, you know, it's a bit long. Good enough. I'll just get a haircut. You know, this is a way to get over embarrassment. It's totally fine. It happens to you. In the end, I'll tell you this. If you do what you want to do, if you are who you are, if you stick to your own principles, I'll tell you this. Sooner or later, you'll be that person to inspire other people. Do you really believe that Jeff Bezos, when he was starting Amazon, that nobody would say anything bad about him? That everybody would always praise him for who he is and what he does? Well, most likely, nuh-uh. But now that he's kept on doing what he was doing, all of a sudden he became the richest person in the world. And that's the interesting part. All of a sudden, he's an inspiration for so many people. So now I'm not saying that you should become the richest person in the world. Would be nice though, but most likely it's not going to happen. There's only one person who can be the richest person in the world. But then again, in your own environment, in your own surroundings, now even on YouTube, even on Facebook, on the social media platforms that you are, with all the followers and friends that you have, You will become an inspiration to others if you don't worry about this too much. Don't worry about embarrassment. Know it's there, accept the situation, but be who you want to be. And that's the first lesson that I want to give to you. Lesson number 2 that I want to talk about is gratification. Now, gratification, you've got the instant gratification, which is like, you know what? I'll just pick up my phone and check YouTube. I'll pick up my phone and check Facebook. I'll pick up my phone and check any social media platform. That is instant gratification. Now, is it a bad thing? Now, it doesn't mean that instant gratification is a bad thing instantly, just like that. But what you do want to do is, if there's a possibility to delay your gratification because there's a bigger reward after that, want to do that. And of course, if you haven't liked the video yet, be sure to hit that like button as well, because hey, that's the instant gratification you can give me for this video. Okay, let's get back to the video. Now, gratification is something, it's always nice to get a certain reward. But if you take on 10 instant rewards, like, okay, you know what? I'll just hang out with my friends. I'll just check out my phone. I'll just play a game. I'll just fill in the blank. If you keep on taking on these instant gratifications, what happens to your delayed gratifications? Now, if you would see it like this, what would happen to the delayed gratification? I always say, if you don't know what you are getting yourself into, why just take the instant gratification right away? Just because you know what it is, sometimes waiting it out a little bit longer is going to be a bigger reward at the end. If I would give you a Snickers bar right away, or I would say, if you wait an hour, you'll just, you stroll a bit, you'll get a whole box of who knows what is inside. Now, you don't know what is inside. The first thing, what you might be thinking is, hey, this is a setup. I see the Snickers bar right now. I could take that one, I have a Snickers bar. But otherwise, I'll have to wait a full hour. I don't know what is in the box, but most likely there is more of it. Well, hey, you had nothing to start out with. So why the greediness all of a sudden because you see a Snickers bar? You don't know what is in the box. You've got nothing to lose. You started out with nothing, so why all of a sudden the greediness? This is lesson number 2. The instant gratification just because we see a carrot in front of our heads. All of a sudden, we want to have the carrot. This is why a delayed gratification is not such a bad idea. Just see it like this. You started out with nothing, so why the greediness all of a sudden? Okay, let's go to lesson number 3. Lesson number 3 is talking about validating ourselves. Validating ourselves. We got to prove to others that we are great. Now, just like the embarrassment, talking about neighbors having an opinion about you, I'll tell you this, even checking out YouTube channels just like mine, you kind of want to have like a lot of subscribers showing other people that you're doing a great job, or even going on Facebook or checking out other social media. Do you have a huge following on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter? Now, if you don't have that huge of a following, all of a sudden we feel like we're not worth it or something. And that is the weird part. The thing is, you don't need to validate yourself for you to be who you want to be. Because in the end, we always have an inner circle of people that we feel that we can be trusted with. That's good enough, right? So why do you need to validate yourself towards others as well? Why do we make things bigger than they actually are? I'll tell you this, if you have 5 friends and those 5 friends support you, help you, and give you feedback whenever you need to, well, if those 5 friends are the type of friends that you want to, hey, that's a great life already, right? Now, if you want to grow all of a sudden, if these 5 friends are those kinds of friends that help you grow as well, dude, you don't need anyone else anymore. Now, you can have fans, but I'll tell you this, having fans is not that great as well. I've got a few fans who are like, yay, Lucas, well done. They're always complimenting me for whatever I do. And I'm very happy that they are there. But I'll tell you this, if I'm asking them for support, if I'm asking them to support me, they're like, yeah, but no, dude, you're the one doing this. You should be giving us support. And I'm like, dude, that's not how it goes, right? So yes, validating yourself is totally fine, but it's up to a certain extent. Don't worry about what the whole environment thinks of you. Don't worry what other people think of you. You are great for who you are. I always say, you are already perfect. The only thing is, you don't know it yet. So you need to find out that you're perfect. If you don't believe that you're perfect because you still need to work on some things, hey, that's totally fine. You can work on those things and be perfect at the same time. Now you might be thinking, hey, that doesn't line up. But don't worry too much because you already are perfect. The only thing is, you don't know it yet. Okay, let's go to lesson number 4. Now, lesson number 4 talks about the fear of the unknown. It's not like the scary part. It's not about that, of course. But the thing is, actually, it is as well. It's not a scary horror movie, but the thing is, in your life, I don't know what you find scary in your life. I'll tell you this, about 10 years ago, before I started traveling the world for business, I was always very scared of traveling because I had no idea of how the world would look like on the other end of the world. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how to anticipate to the different situations. So what I always did is I prepared all the trips completely into detail, having always a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. And if not, even a plan D. Because I was afraid of the unknown things. But I'll tell you this, what happened is I had a lot of stress. I didn't know what to do. And the moment I had to do business, I was so focused on all the things that were unknown to me that I failed doing business. You know what I do right now? I anticipate to the unknown things. I already know I have to travel, I have to get this business done, I have to get this project in. So what I do in this case is I prepare for the unknown. I always like schedules, I always like planning out things. So what I do is for a trip when I go abroad and I know I'm going to be there for 5 days, I'm going to prepare all the things, what I'm going to do for each day. And I always want to achieve one thing per day at least. So I set a goal for each one day. The moment I achieve that one goal, all of a sudden, all the unknown things that happen on my day, they're like, you know what? That's great. Because it's a way to grow. And it's a way to experience things. And I'll tell you this, the moment you let go of being afraid of the unknown, you'll be a lot more successful. All of a sudden, my business trips were totally successful. And I enjoyed myself and I experienced a lot of those countries. But not even that, even in business. You know, if you don't know it yet, I'm a coach within real estate and investing. And I help a lot of people on getting started, how to invest on the stock market, and of course, on real estate. Now, I'll tell you this, there are a lot of people who have a lot of skepticism and think, yeah, but real estate is not for me, or investing in the stocks is not for me, and it's too scary. Actually, they never say it's too scary, but that's always what pops up in their mind, because it's fear of the unknown. And I totally get that. So yes, it is kind of normal to have those fears, but it's the unconscious mind telling you, you know what, don't do this, let's not do this. But I'll tell you this, just like the instant gratification, you started out with nothing, and all of a sudden we become greedy with the first thing we see. You started out with nothing, why all of a sudden be greedy? Why all of a sudden think, you know what, I gotta protect what I have? It's not worth it. You don't know what you can get if you let go of the fear of the unknown. And this is why it's so important to just say, you know what, let's hit that like button. And of course, let go of the fear of the unknown, right? Okay? And these are the 4 lessons that I wanted to give you to make you successful personally in your life, but also financially. If you like the video, of course, be sure to hit that like button. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And of course, every time you want to be notified a new video comes out, be sure to hit that notification bell as well. I thank you very much for watching today's video, and I'll see you on the next. Happy investing. Bye-bye.